Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Real White, and I will be talking about the ghost of the House of the Bins, aka Bloody Tam, which is a pretty scary nickname. And I don't think you get that nickname by being a terribly nice individual, but let's see. So, first, we have some background on Sir Thomas Tam Dalyell. Um, Maybe that's not how you say it, but yeah. He occupied the house for most of the 17th century, and he was a general and commander for Charles II's army in Scotland. He was also the creator of the Royal Scots Greys, which is pretty cool, right? So, like, man, how do you get the name Bloody Tam? Let's see. He reportedly treated those he defeated very cruelly. Well, what did he do? It couldn't be that bad, right? He imprisoned a lot of them in like a churchyard, and he let them starve. So not very chill. He was also rumored to have cut off 10 leaders' hands and nailed them to the prison door before he then hung them. Um, can y'all see that? Hopefully, y'all can't see that. My thing's on low battery. But, anyways, then he sent the severed heads back to their home as a warning, which was probably pretty effective. Um, yeah, and he probably played games with the devil or something. It's actually kind of cool. There was like a time he apparently cheated against the devil, and the devil got really angry and he threw out a table. And then that like threw a table out the house. Um, and it was like lost for a really long time, but they found it, and they found it in like a nearby lake or pond or something. Um, and it's cool because it's got like a hoof mark on it, like is that the devil's? With his little hooves and stuff. Um, and I wish I would have included it. Wait, I did. Boom. Hoof mark? Question mark? Hoof question mark? Could that be the devil? I don't know. But yeah, so probably not a good guy. And scary red text, so you know he's not a good guy. Well, maybe he could have been. But yeah, basically the core features uh, in this like story is that he is sometimes seen as a ghostly figure riding a white stallion on the grounds of the castle, just trotting around and moving and stuff. Um, and then people have also reported to hear his boots walking around the house on their own. Now, I tried researching what his feet might have looked like. Unfortunately, there are not many pictures on it. So I can only assume they looked like this. Spin him around, get him out of there. And I'm thinking he probably wore boots probably like this. But I like to imagine him in boots like this. Um, but yeah, he was just walking around the house. Well, the boots on their own, I guess. So people reported hearing that and then seeing him as a ghostly figure. Now, what is a ghost? Well, from the slides, verbatim, it says apparitions are the subjective experiences of a figure or being when no real figure is physically present and when normal means of communication are ruled out. Now, what's important about these is that, or at least for this case, is that more than one person can experience the same apparition and they can be associated with people who are alive or dead. Um, so, yeah, people have multiple, well, it's not just one person reporting this, it's been a consistent report of his shoes walking around on their own and seeing him on a horse riding around in front of the house and stuff. Um, so there are a lot of possible explanations here. Um, some of the normal, boring ones are like, people's pre-existing beliefs or expectations impacting what they experience. Like maybe it's late at night and they're hearing noises, and they've heard stories about his boots walking around on their own, and so they kind of convince themselves that that's what they're hearing, the boots walking around. Also, epiphania, seeing faces and stuff that's not there. Uh, Geomagnetism in areas with increased tectonic strain / seismic activity. I didn't really find much on the tectonic strain. like where this on the House of the Bins, um, but somewhere it did say that it would there is it's an area with a lot of high stress. So maybe that could be it. But some side explanations are the ghost hypothesis, which is that someone has failed to like make the transition onto like the next plane or whatever, or the afterlife. But it's also could be like a traumatic event associated with that kind of persistence of energy, um, which could make sense with this, considering he kind of killed a lot of people and got the nickname Bloody Tam and stuff. And then also, I mean, maybe an experience with the devil himself. That's like that's gotta have some pretty high energy, pretty persisting energy, I think. Um, but what I actually really like from the side explanation side of this for this specific case is the place memories, because I mean it makes sense. He had lived there for a bit, so he would be walking around, maybe riding his white stallion, whatever that means, around in the front of the house and stuff like that. So maybe it's just the place as a whole remembers him, and because he was an important figure. But there's also the perceptual hypothesis, which is that under certain conditions, people can perceive phenomena that are really there, but they just aren't usually perceivable. Then there's the next two I don't really see for this case at all. The telepathic hypothesis, basically that like the apparitions are a way of experiencing telepathy, which I don't really see here. And then the psychokinetic hypothesis, uh, basically like intense subjective experiences may sometimes impact upon the physical world. But I don't really see that one here either. So what I really think is going on um, in this case, unfortunately, I do think it's more of like the pre-existing beliefs and expectations, and how throughout time it's just been something that's been built up, and you kind of have it in the back of your mind when you visit the place, and so maybe you see something that's not really there, or you kind of convince yourself you're hearing things, and yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you. um, Shout out my green men. um, yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, or whatever they say. Oh, and give me a 100, please. um, but yeah. Oh, and here are my